What's up, world? I am the Swamee. I'm back after a short hiatus. I'm working on doing some updates, technology-wise, to make this channel a little bit better. And while I'm on this subject, comment below, click the subscribe button. It's somewhere around there. Let me know how things are going. Show your love as we build this channel step by step. That having been said, here's the reaction video for episode 6 of Game of Thrones season 8, the series finale. Did it disappoint? Did it not disappoint? We're going to talk about it a little bit and move from there. I definitely have some thoughts, and I'm going to tell you about them. So normally the Swamee breakdown, I'm not going to go through that on the video, though I may put the credits down below. But you know, we're usually talking content, we're usually talking performance, and we're talking the visual. I'm going to reverse it so that we get to the save the best for the last, so to speak. The visual was stunning. The set, the lighting even, which was a problem this particular season, off the chain. It was clear they had a movie budget. It was clear they put some serious money behind this. But nonetheless, quality. Swamee salute. In terms of the performance, nobody really stood out. I don't think that there was like any real sort of stellar performances. But I will note this. I sensed a muted performance from certain people. I don't know if it was because maybe they weren't wholeheartedly behind what was happening to their characters or to the situation at hand. I don't know, maybe if they weren't 100% behind the direction that the story was going, but they did not seem to have the same intensity or the same commitment to what was going on, particularly Jon and Tywin. Seemed a bit muted, a bit withdrawn. And again, I don't know, maybe that was the situation that they were in, so maybe they were told that to portray that particular way. But the energy wasn't really there like I noticed before. I did note that. There were certain instances where, like for instance, when the two of them were in Tywin's cell and they were talking, that exchange I felt was supposed to be bigger than it actually came off as. The scene with Daenerys and Jon didn't seem to resonate as much as I think it should have. I think Daenerys also probably suffered from a little bit of that sort of lack of passion that I sensed from before. At the very end, though, when Jon is with his family and bidding them farewell, I did feel that a little bit, though. So that was there. But nonetheless, the characters pretty much, they did what they had to do. Nobody was lacking. But they didn't really have too much to work with, again, because it's a series finale. A lot of people are worked up, but you have to grade this thing on a curve. Let me break it down to you like this. Think of all the other series finales that you may be able to pull up in your mind. Sopranos. People had an issue with that one, right? Seinfeld. People had an issue with that one. Lost. People scratching their heads. It's very rare that you find a series finale that can tie up all the bows nicely for everybody who's interested. It really doesn't work that way, especially when you have multiple seasons, years with different characters and different storylines and different layers. It's hard to satisfy all the masters, so to speak. So you have to grade it on the curve. Basically, give them their due in the sense of, did they mess anything up? Or did they land the plane? Did they stick the landing? It may have been a little bumpy, but did they stick the landing? That's the key. Did Game of Thrones stick the landing? I'm going to get into that. I felt like it did. However, there were some glaring problems that extend way before this last particular episode that can't be overlooked. But nonetheless, especially when you look at the character development, I'm getting to the third part right now, which is content. If you look at the character development, a lot of this was foretold. The decisions they made, say, with Daenerys, it's understandable. Yeah. Could she go crazy? Yes. It's in her blood. It's in her hair. I tried to tell you all this. Her character is not supposed to be the triumphant one. She's the fallen angel. The serpent. Did you catch the scene before Dany comes out and talks and addresses her army after they slaughter and wipe out King's Landing? Did you catch the part when she's walking up and Drogon is behind her and you see the wings open up behind her? Did you catch that imagery? The Swamee did. That's Daenerys. Now, you might be mad at that, but are you mad because of horrible acting, horrible directing, horrible decision making? Or are you mad because you were backing Darth Vader and didn't even know it? Team Dany, if you take away that D, what are you left with? So you can't be mad at the decision to have her fall prey to her own weaknesses, devices, character flaws. That's a very human storyline. How many of us fall prey to our own flaws, our own shortcomings, to the point where we short circuit our potential, our talent? How many times have you seen that? How many times have you had friends or people that you know even in your family that should be as opposed to being where they are? And no matter how hard you tell them, they can't get out of their own way. It's a very relatable storyline. And it serves its purpose and serves well. So somebody has to be that way. That storyline works and has merit and has room in the Seven Kingdoms. And it's there for Daenerys. Now, how could you destroy a strong female character in Game of Thrones? You forgot about Arya Stark? The single most badass weapon, human weapon that's there. How she forged herself into a human weapon from the time she was 6. She's a woman. How about Sansa? What about her story arc? What she had to go through as a woman. The men in her life. Her triumph. Sitting on her own throne. Swamee salute to Arya. Swamee salute to Sansa. I see you. I see y'all. Even though everybody wanted it to be Daenerys, because she's the best looking one, the sexiest one, she's got the dragons. But you weren't paying attention, were you? Maybe you will next time. Or maybe you'll pay attention to the other women in the story and see them for what they are. Powerful women archetypes that deserve recognition as well. So that takes the Daenerys situation out. And that leaves the other hero of the story, which is Jon Snow. How did he do? I disagree with the way that they executed. And this pretty much goes to my thoughts on the entire execution of the storyline. This is where I blame the writers. This is where they get failing marks. Their decisions on Daenerys and some of the other supporting characters, I'm willing to overlook, again, greater on the curve. But Jon, they messed up on. Jon is the hero. The reluctant hero. He has to be triumphant at the end. Daenerys is the one that falls off. Jon is the one that you want to see win. And to be reduced to a basic felon who gets exiled to Siberia was beneath him, quite frankly, in the Swamee's opinion. That was a big mistake. And because of the fact that it was a main character, that hurt. That's a blow that's going to bleed out. That one I can't grade that one on the curve. Other characters like Tywin and even Varys and all those people, Jaime, Cersei, you can overlook because, again, it's a series finale. But you can't overlook Jon. And you can't overlook one more fact. the timing, the pacing of this season was absolutely horrendous. And they left way too much at the end. So as a result, they rushed everything at the end. All the resolutions, all the bows happened in the last 2.5 episodes. So how are you going to give the proper send-offs when you only have 10 minutes for each one? Oh. There's Cersei. Final countdown's about to happen. Final battle. She's dead. Oh, here's Daenerys. Oh, she falls. She turns evil. Oh, she's dead. Jon, triumphant. Oh, he's sent away. You don't give yourself enough time to develop these critical points of the story. And that's where Game of Thrones episode 6 fails, in my opinion. So, final Swamee rating for episode 6. 2 Swamee stars. Too many disappointing things to overlook or compensate for the grade on the curve that you have to do because it's the season finale or series finale. Definite errors, definite mistakes, but not the ones that everybody's talking about. The ones that everybody's talking about, you should have seen. You should have seen that coming. The ones that people aren't talking about are the vital ones that you need to highlight and understand, because those are the errors that get repeated. And I hope they don't get repeated in Star Wars. We'll see what happens. So there you have it. 2 Swamee stars, episode 6, series finale for the Game of Thrones. I'm probably going to do another video on my thoughts on Game of Thrones in general and the wrapping up of it. That's another story for another time. If I can borrow a Conan outro. That having been said, hope you all have a great day. Again, comment below, subscribe if you like what's going on. And that's all I'm going to say. Because the Swamee has spoken.